Okay, so we're going to go through some instructions today that cover the unboxing of a Dell E-series monitor and a Dell OptiPlex Micro series vesa container to put on the back of that monitor to hold a Dell OptiPlex Micro PC. So the tools that we need for that are just a screwdriver. So what you see here is the monitor box, the box for the little vesa cage, and the Dell Micro 3060 in the upper right hand corner. So let me go ahead and get this unboxed. First we'll just open the monitor box and show you what that looks like. So this is going to be your base for the monitor, and you can go ahead and snap this together. There's only really one way that can go. It snaps shut, and this is a plate that covers the vesa connector on the back, which you won't need because we're putting that little cage on there for the PC. This is your HDMI cable that's going to connect your PC to your monitor. We'll just set that aside for a moment. And of course the power cable for your monitor. So setting that aside, here's your monitor. We'll pull that out of the nice plastic wrap that's around it to protect it. And set this box to the side. I'm just going to lay the monitor flat down on a piece of on the table there. I'm not going to connect the base to it just yet because I want to attach the cage first. So let's unbox what you need for the cage. So this is the bracket, or I call it a cage, but it's really probably called a bracket. And that's what's going to go here on the back of the monitor to hold the OptiPlex Micro 360. There's also another little cage that manages the power supply. If you're going to mount this under a desk, which you could, there's screws in this box that you could mount this underneath of a desk, then this becomes handy to pop on and hold your power supply for the computer. But it doesn't unfortunately fit when you're using it on the back of a monitor. It interferes, this little cage here interferes with the monitor stand. So we're just going to set that to the side right now. You don't really need that, as I mentioned, unless you're putting it under a desk or mounting it to the wall or something of that along that nature. So to mount this, we want to have this little screw here on the bottom side. And we're going to mount it right here in the indentation in your monitor. So we need the Phillips screwdriver to simply just take these 4 Phillips screws out. You're going to want to set those to the side and save them because they are the same screws you'll put back in. I know the box for the bracket does come with some screws, but those screws really are not needed because these Dell E-series monitors have screws in the holes already that are long enough to mount the bracket. So pull those screws out and then set your bracket in place again with this little set screw for the PC at the bottom right hand corner. There's really only one place it can go. Adjust it until you can see all 4 screw holes, and then just put those same 4 screws back in. I recommend you get them all started before you tighten one all the way tight, just because sometimes you get them tight and it's a little cattywampus and then you're off center for the other screws. So just start them all and then tighten them down. You don't need them super tight. They're just roughly hand tight. You can see I'm not using a lot of forearm muscle there, just making sure they're snug. Then you want to put your OptiPlex PC in the bracket. You can see that there's a slot here, and that slot is so you can read the service tag label. So that'll help you remember which way they go in. So what I do is you want to slip, they've got to slip in from left to right, so otherwise this screw is in the way. And there's some rubber bumpers in there that cause them to go in fairly snug. So you'll have to kind of give it quite a push, and when it gets all the way in, it'll go up against that bracket, and you can just, again, very loosely hand tighten that set screw. And now that OptiPlex Micro PC is snug, it's there in the monitor, ready to go. You can move your antenna wherever you need it. And now you can go ahead and attach your, let's do it this way. You can attach your monitor platform bracket. It'll snap in place. And there you have it. You've got room to adjust the monitor the way you want it, and then you can run your cords out of the back of the PC. You'll be taking your HDMI monitor cord here, taking that from the HDMI port at the bottom of the PC, plugging that in to the bottom of the monitor. It's not a very long distance, so you can probably keep the zip ties or twist ties on the cable. It can just kind of stay wrapped up behind there. And then of course, I don't have it pictured here, but the power cable that came with the OptiPlex 360, that plugs in your adapter for your mouse, and your keyboard can plug in. And once you log into Windows, then you can connect to the wireless, and you should be good to go.